Yes, another week and it's Chatterbox. I am Dan. I got your boy P. Ladies love Andre.
Yep.
And your boy Sean.
Yo, what's up, people?
We're back, and this week we have been watching Kissing Booth 2. Well, some of us had to watch Kissing Booth as well because we hadn't seen that, and we've just caught up with Kissing Booth 2. And it's live, it's on Netflix, another one at #1 on the Netflix chart, directed by Vince Marcello, and Joey King, who plays Elle, returns as, loved up young girl in high school, where's her boyfriend in college. Obviously, she's a bit worried. That's Jacob Elordi, who's playing Noah. While she's in high school and she's thinking about him cheating, there's also a new player in the school, Zachar Perez, who is playing Marco. And it gets a bit confusing. The film is a lot more complex than the last one, and I want these guys to lay into it. I want you guys to tell me all about what you thought of this film. Ladies love?
So I saw the first one a couple of days ago, and that was, how should I put this? It was interesting. It was a chore to get through. It was a very weird movie. This is the first one I'm talking about. It just felt weird watching it. I just didn't understand certain things. So coming into the second one, part 2, I was weary. So it took a while for me to watch it, and I basically watched it this morning. And I did like it. It's not a good movie. It's not for me. Like I'm sure there's people that will watch it and love it as they do. You said it was #1, so but yeah, I didn't really like it. I didn't like the story. The characters made some weird choices for me. I guess the characters, they do have some chemistry and they're fun. But I found the most fun was when it finished, when I was watching the bloopers. Like they seemed like they had a lot of fun making the movie. But in terms of me watching it, I did not have fun. I didn't enjoy it. And apparently there's a part 3. Oh God, we're gonna have to review that one as well. I'm tired.
That's some kind of review starter for us. Ladies love, I love that. Tell them how it is. Pianki, what are you saying? How was the film for you?
Hey, this was a romantic comedy. I'm still waiting to see the comedy. I can't think of one scene that I actually laughed. It was a long movie, 2 hours that I'll never get back. This was poor. I don't mind films like that because I grew up on She's All That, 1999, Never Being Kissed. But this I could see the romance. The storyline was okay, but I didn't identify with any of the characters. I was just like, really? Nah, not for me.
Oh man, I can relate to what you're saying so much, Pianki. We're gonna have to get onto that in a bit. But first, Sean, what was you thinking?
I watched the first film, what was it, 3 days ago, something like that. And for me, I felt like the second film was a little bit better than the first one, but I'm still going to be honest with you and say I didn't fully enjoy that film. I mean, it was okay. I'm not going to completely slate it and say it was rubbish or not worth watching if you're into rom-coms. As you guys know, as I've said several times on here, there wasn't enough comedy in there, not enough laughs. I mean, for me, I'm trying to even remember like a moment that had me like amused, and I'm really struggling to think of one, to be honest with you. There's a lot of drippy moments. It was just a lot of drippy moments in it,
Hui, it looks like we didn't have that much fun this week. I'll tell you what I did like though. I feel like whoever worked on the cameras, whoever worked on the editing, the special effects and the pyrotechnics in the dance part, that those people, they deserve some credit for that film. There was a lot of work in the cinematography of that film, and I enjoyed it. The glisten of all these young, beautiful faces, it was lovely. And I thought, yeah, I can appreciate that someone's taken the time to make a film look good. Albeit the script wasn't great, the storyline was boring, and yeah, the characters were fun to watch, but like, you know, at the end of the day, I don't think we were the audience for that movie. But this, for us guys, it wasn't our kind of film. But I feel that they were trying to reach outside of their normal audience. They've gone on Netflix, they're number one. A lot of people are clearly watching it. Also, lockdown's on, so you've naturally got a much wider audience to capture. And I think they put it out there. I think that's why it was longer. I think that's why they've spent the money on making it look so good. And I think that's why they've spent the money on building that storyline, that script. They've really pumped it out with a lot going on. There was a lot of narratives to cover in there. And you're thinking back, oh, what's happening with them? What's happening with them? And a couple of times I was like, I had to rewind to catch up. So there was a lot going on. And I definitely think it was for a younger audience. Now, with these high school movies, we've seen so many of them through the years now. Like, what is it about that formula that makes people nostalgic? Because we know what's going to happen and we still watch them. We know what the ending's going to be like, and they never stray away from that. And we've seen, like, in the comedies where they take the mick out of them, where they don't go the total opposite direction, or they take the mick out of what's happened. But what is it about that formula? What do you guys think? Like, if you ever watched these films before, what's made you watch them?
I just think people are comfortable with formulas. There's nothing wrong with that, to be honest, because in every genre, there's formulas, there's staples that they do all the time. I just think it's execution with those things. In terms of high school, I just think it just takes you back to when you was in high school. Maybe you relate to it, maybe you don't, maybe you just like those type of things. Like, because me, I can still watch a high school movie and enjoy it because it brings me back to watching the high school movies back in the day, which I love. So if it's good, if it's as good as that, those type of movies, then I'm all good with it and it's fine.
When it comes to these films, it comes down to the stock characters and characters that we can remember from our high school days. There's certain people in our lives that we can remember, and we want to see if in this film, the characters that they develop, are they going to be similar to these characters? So we can go, oh yeah, I remember somebody like that. Yeah, they were exactly the same.
This film overall, what stood out for you? What are you going to remember? Or is it just another one of them films that you'll have to look up to remember that you watched it?
I will remember that I watched it because I remember that I didn't like it. But there's nothing really to remember. I've seen is it Joey King on a few things before, and I think she's doing a series. I think that's critically acclaimed, so I want to watch that. Other than that, and I know about the guy who plays Noah. He's in Euphoria. But in terms of this movie, nah. Just some of the actors I remember, and that's about it.
The character Marco. Now, I don't know if you guys remember in the end of the film when one of his mates come over to him when they was at their graduation, and his mate asked him the question. He was like, "Oh, get over her because she's not worth it. It's done, innit?" And he was just like, "Nah, she is worth it." And he had a little cheeky smile at the end. So that sort of indicated that they're gonna have a third film. I felt like, I mean, it wasn't great, but I felt like he had, out of all of them, he had probably a little bit more of a character that you might have wanted to see a little bit more. Again, it wasn't something that wowed me or anything, like his performance or nothing, but I feel like he is probably a character that you might want to know a little bit more about, because they didn't really touch much on him at all, because obviously he was just seeing her life that she had with Noah, and also even with Lee, because, they were best mates since they were born, pretty much. So maybe from that point of view, the ending just kind of left it open. So now you feel a little bit like maybe you should watch the third film just to wrap it all up. I don't know whether I will, because I really wasn't impressed by this film, but that's the only thing I can take away from this film, really, is that it's now a trilogy, and maybe gonna see how it all plays out, pretty much.
You know what? Tomorrow I would have forgotten that I've ever seen it. So it's one of those, it's a forgettable film. It's one film that I'll never watch again.
Wow, what a movie. It was so good. It made barely any impact on you other than remembering it was terrible. This movie is going to go down as just another high school I was gonna say rom-com, but it's just romance with some funny bits. I definitely agree that Marco is a character that can be developed, and I've got a funny feeling that's something we're gonna see in the next film. It did touch on a number of subjects, and it made sure that there was a level of different things going on to appease to so many different changing audiences that we see, especially in young people right now. So no wonder it's at number one. A lot of people are going to check it out. There is a little bit of something for a lot of people. I wouldn't say everyone, and I wouldn't say most people, but at the end of the day, we took the time out to watch it, and we added to it being number one on Netflix. What I really want to know, guys, out of 5 stars, how much are you giving it?
Well, no, I'm not loving it. I'll give the first one, because I'm going to say the first one so I can give the second one. The first one I would have gave 3 stars. So the second one I'm giving 2 stars.
I would probably have given the first one maybe like 2 stars probably. And I'll give this film, I'll give it probably like 2.5.
1. Both of them together, 1, half each.
There you have it. The reviews are in, and I'm going to be straight with you. It's getting, the first movie is getting 1.5 stars. The second one is getting 1 star. Now, that's not a terrible rating, but it's bad. It's definitely bad. If you got no stars, then that's terrible. But for me, the cinematography saved it. It's a well-made film, like a lot of films, like the boys said. That's all there is to it. Now, next week, we're going to be back. We're going to have a new movie, and hopefully we will be way more excited than we were this week. Thanks so much to the boys, P, and your boy, Ladies Love, Andre, and it's your boy, Sean.
Later, peeps.
Now, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the likes, comment below, and follow the socials. This is Chatterbox. I'm Dan. We'll see you guys later. Peace.